or for today will be the Magna Harmon podcast. Here with my big bro, it's Chris and Rich tonight. We are without our co-host. Wishing them the best of luck though. Happy birthday to our co-host and our cousin Daniel for sure tomorrow. So he's out there celebrating. Couldn't be with us tonight, but we here, baby. What's going on, Rich?
Just here, it's been a crazy weekend in terms of sports. So I'm sure we'll get into it in a little bit, but yeah, just hanging out with the family and just watching what's the craziness unravel.
Exciting, man. The NFL, they knew what they was doing, man. With this 3-day lineup for it's been like 2-3 weeks straight. They've been playing on Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So we got a lot to get to for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I think we'll go ahead and open up, I think, with the Chargers and Jaguars. We did a bit of a preview on this one earlier in the week and just said about how this was going to be an interesting game. It started off crazy, with the Chargers up 27-7, and many people thought that the game was over. Trevor Lawrence, who has been basically selected to be the number one pick since he was like 14 years old. He had his first playoff game and he had a terrible start. 4 interceptions thrown. I think one or two of them got returned for a touchdown.
Looked like he found a new receiver that he was going to, Asante Samuel on the Chargers. So he had 3 interceptions in the first quarter.
Yeah, for some reason he thought he had somebody wide open, but it wasn't working out for him. But second half he came out and he just he had a crazy game and put himself on a map out there right now. So seeing what the Jaguars can do here next, how exactly they're going to be able to go about this process. But it was a really good game.
For sure, yeah. You got to give it up to the Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence, Doug Peterson, because even while he was throwing those interceptions, I don't know, weirdly I just felt like they were just going to make it a game the whole time. Like this isn't one of those LeBron prediction things, but for some reason I just felt like they were always going to come back in that game, even when they were down. And the second half they just found a rhythm and TDs back to back to back to back, and they pulled it out 31-30 over the. Your man's Justin Herbert. Where do you think the Chargers go from here now?
I'm for first. I'll say I'm really excited that the Chargers lost. This I think this was the best case scenario. That the coach Staley in LA has been he's been mostly terrible there. And when you have a quarterback like that, he covers up a lot of your mistakes. So Sean Payton has been waiting in the wings for the opportunity to coach Justin Herbert, and he's himself has thought that this would happen. And I don't think without this particular situation, either the Chargers had to miss the playoffs or be humiliated in the playoffs, and that's exactly what happened. So now it's all but done. I think that Coach Staley and the whole team knows that he's on his way out. So yeah, just on to better things now. Justin Herbert is the right coach, and we'll see him make some amazing plays for the next decade, it feels like.
Yeah, that was just crazy to see, man. Again, for some reason I felt like they were going to come back, but just actually watching it play out, you're just thinking the time's going to run out. You sent us a message in the chat. They were up 3 with 3 minutes left. I'm like, oh, this game is still over. Like they don't stand a chance, but they still pulled it off, and they've just been proving that over the last couple of weeks. Even coming into the playoffs, that no matter what the situation is, they're going to keep fighting, and in the end, it's been working out for them with a number of wins over the last couple of weeks. So still got to wait to see who they play next week with the game still playing out. But the Jaguars, man, they look kind of scary right now, like they can beat anybody. So so you better bring it when you're playing them.
Yeah, like a lot of people have been saying for the last 5 weeks or so, Trevor Lawrence has looked a lot like he's been one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL, and he completely continued on with that in the second half. So,
top 5 hair at least. This was hair goal as well, so he won that too.
Definitely. It's going to be interesting to say watching this next phase coming up. I think they could possibly face off with either Josh Allen or with Patrick Mahomes. So watching him line up with those guys, seeing how exactly he looks on the field, what his composure like. Like you say, it's big. Anybody can win when they're up. How do you respond when you're having the worst game of your life? And for him, that likely was the worst half of his life. So seeing him come back and throw his team into the next round is really inspiring if you're a Jacksonville Jaguars fan.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about on that game, or?
Um, Not in particular. Like you say, like the whole Staley thing is just like that their wide receiver, I think Mike Williams as well. He ended up having like a fractured back as well. Like it was just it's just one thing after the next. Like just stupid decisions after stupid decisions. So yeah, just give that man his walking papers and let's let's get this actual thing started.
Yeah, he hasn't. Even though it was just last night, he hasn't been blasted enough. I mean, 27 to was it 0 or 27-7? Like you lose that type of playoff game. Yeah, you need to be definitely looking for a new job at least. And yeah, so
Yeah, for sure. Well,